Hello, YouTube. I'm presuming I'm live because I can't really see myself. Let me refresh. I got my tarot deck. Um, as you can tell, I'm super duper excited right now. Let's see. Well, I can hear myself and I can see myself, so those are good things. How is everyone? I should be smiling and saying, hello, welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, all this, whatever. I don't want to project negative energy. But I've been away for a while. I've been away from both my channels, the Whispers of the Arabian Oracle as well as this one. I've pretty much, to be honest with you, have been in the dumpster. It was very, very difficult for me to even like get ready to come on here and do this. And I'm still contemplating that I might just finish off and delete the whole thing. But don't let that affect you. If I do leave this live stream, at least I would like to say what would benefit people, you know, rather than me just coming on here and dumping negative energy, which is not something I like to do. I used to do that. I don't like to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. That is not who I am. But if you've been paying attention, we just passed, I believe we're still in the shadow period of it, but there was a very powerful new moon on the 18th of January that happened. Yours truly, hi, who's here? Let me get my glasses on. Is it Tam? It's usually Tam. Alaikum the Noor, Arabia. Hello, Tam. How are you, hun? Tam, how have you been? Have you been feeling the energies? Anyhow, don't want to put anybody on the spot. Let me get back to what I was saying. I started feeling it literally the night before, and you know, I follow spiritual communities. I follow tarot readers, and they tend to be very spiritual people and very in tune and very intuitive. And they just kept saying, you know, it was very powerful, the new moon, and I'm like, okay, great. And then it hit me on the 17th, of course, and it was kind of like an upheaval. It was a massive upheaval, and I can't tell you if there was a self-sabotaging energy in there, or there. You know what? There probably was. There probably was, which is why I'm here to warn you, not to sort of commiserate with you, which, you know, I can always do. I can tell you how my life just fell apart over the last week and how massive insecurities have resurfaced for me and how wounds that I have been, wow, there is a big spider web. There are wounds that I've played in all my life until I spiritually woke up during the pandemic. But the wounds, you know, when I spiritually woke up, I've been actively trying to heal those wounds, and they involve, you know, victimhood. Oh, woe is me. I'm always targeted. I'm always excluded. Oh, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Self-pity. And there is a little bit of self-sabotage in there. So those wounds, I am aware of them, and I heal them enough. I've healed them enough. And I'm aware enough not to play in that loop anymore of that wound, as tempting as it can be and as it is, especially given the atmosphere that we are living in the West right now, with censorship, with authoritarianism, with really religion, is specifically the religion that I got away from. I thought I did. It's really, you're feeling it right now. It's breathing down my neck, and I know the energy of that religion, and I know the blasphemy laws that are being sort of applied like a blanket across. It's very, very, very noticeable online, in the online world. Very, very noticeable. And the online world is where yours truly makes her income. So having to sort of experience that here in the West after a period of reprieve from all this nonsense is really messing with me. It really is messing with me. And then come the new moon. This is a very powerful new moon because we are heading into a very powerful eclipse season, by the way. And one of those eclipses is happening on my birthday. I turned 50 on April 8th, so that should be an interesting day. So all of that is causing an upheaval, especially if you're an empath, especially if you're energy sensitive. You're going to find yourself being revisited by your shadow self. Your shadow self is making an appearance. Something that needs to be seen, something that needs for you to pay attention to it is going to pop up in your life. And chances are it's not going to be a very pleasant experience. I'm here to remind you to not get lost in the saga. Don't get lost in your emotions, even though I did. I probably still am. Don't get lost in your thoughts, even though I did. And I'm struggling to keep reminding myself that I am not my thoughts, I am not my wounds, I am not my story. I'm here mainly, even though I'm not out fully of this, whatever this is, the intense energies that are accompanying the new moon, I still feel like I need to come on here, and you need to see me like this, because you can't always see me when I'm happy, because I'm not fake, right? So that perhaps you can be warned. I know this about myself. I tend to feel energies well ahead of everyone else. And the fact that they are this intense and that they sucked me in should garner, I guess, enough of a warning for those of you who are energy sensitive, for those of you, the 20 people that watch this channel, finding it difficult to sleep since Saturday with mild headache and low energy, also getting hit with lots of snow. Well, it's interesting for me. We had a nor'easter here on Monday. Everything shut down. My power went out. And I can't remember what the date was on Monday. Let me just take a quick look. Monday was the 19th and the new moon was on the 18th. And I am not a person who pays attention to new moons and full moons. But when the energy in this is this intense and it impacts me this much, I pay attention. So yes, we had a nor'easter here in the province that I live in. On Monday, I was without power for, 10 hours. I was struggling with the intense energies. I was struggling with a shit show in my platforms. I lost another platform because of the heavy duty censorship that is happening. And it was all like a big, shitty, disgusting snowball effect. And I got caught in it. I'm not recovered yet. I'm nowhere near recovered. And on top of that, people re-entered my life. People that I had washed my hands of. And I said, you know what? I'm done. This person is too unawake. They're too unconscious for me. I love all humans. I don't hold people's unconsciousness against them. I really don't. I didn't choose to be conscious, and they didn't choose to be unconscious. It's just, this is the game that we're in right now. So I really try to hold a lot of empathy, a lot of empathy for people, especially people who are playing in their own little loops and patterns and shadows. And while they're playing in those patterns, they project onto me or they hurt me. And I don't really think that they are planning. Like, it's not intentional. I'm aware that it's not intentional, but I'm just tired of it because it does hurt and it does impact me. Some of those people made a re entry into my life and they were apologetic and I'm sorry and how can I make it better? And I said, you know what, it's fine, it's all good, don't worry about it, and all that. I wasn't expecting anything, but they made a list of promises that's this long and they disappeared. Basically, same old, same old. So I know I'm giving some detail about my own personal life. I hope you understand that I'm not, maybe I am trying to vent. It's nice to vent, because I'm essentially alone here. Um, but maybe it will help you. Maybe it will help you in something that you're going through in your life. People, situations. Maybe you're dealing with censorship like I am. Maybe you're sick of the authoritarianism that is creeping and heavily creeping in the West, and everyone's sort of kowtowing to it. Maybe you're sick of the fear mongering of the news. Maybe you're sick of the Trump hate. Maybe you're sick of Trump obsession. Maybe you're sick of just everything. You're just sick of everything, and nothing is changing. Nothing's changing. Everything remains the same. Everything remains the same because it is my personal belief that we are, if you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, like yours truly, even though there's a new version of you right now, maybe an intermediate version, you're not your old self, but you haven't really become the new you, you know? You haven't become the new you yet because you're still stuck in this garbage reality that you're trying really hard to change and get out of. Because you're still here, situations haven't changed, patterns are still reappearing, re-emerging for you, meaning that you're not done with them and they're not done with you just yet. Not just yet. You need to dig deeper. You need to find what it is that needs to be seen, all while struggling to maintain your own level of awareness. Struggling to maintain your own high vibration. Very difficult to do because you're going to get angry. You're going to have a shit show. You're going to cry. You're going to have meltdowns. You're going to give up. And then you know what? When it's all over in another week, you're going to dust yourself off just like I am going to. We're going to get back up again and we're going to continue on. We're not there yet. The new you, the new life that you want to manifest, it hasn't arrived just yet. It's on its way. It's on its way. I know this. I know this. And I'm here to remind you of this. So do not give up as strong and as attractive as giving up might feel and seem to you right now. Don't give up. Take a break. Sure, take a break, just like I am. I'm taking a break from everything. Everything. I really did have to think hard, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to leave this live. But I really had to think really, really, really super duper hard because I'm not myself. I know I'm not me. I'm defaulting to old ways. And you'll probably notice them as you watch this live, and I'm going to rewatch this live after you because I want to see what these wounds that I'm still playing in are. I'm very good at observing myself. So that's it. That's the live stream that I wanted to talk to you about. as I, bitch and moan and gripe and complain about everything that's going on. And as much as you'd like to blame Trump for the your problems, it's not Trump's fault. I have to say this. And listen, I I I'm very aware that there are people who hate Carney. I dislike and I stay away from any overblown, dramatized, fear mongering. We're gonna get them. They're doing this to us. Behaviors that I see, regardless where, if it's from politicians, if it's from the king, if it's from the news. I'm so done with this energy, and I recognize it so easily now. It's funny because I see both ends of the spectrum, the right and the left, playing really hard in it. The right hates the left hates the right. Oh, like, are you guys not sick of this game? Are we not done? Are we not done? The right shits on Carney here in Canada, and the left shits on Trump here in Canada. I don't know. Like well, like it's stale. It's boring. Like, give me something else. Can I watch paint dry? Maybe, it'll be more exciting, more fun to watch paint dry. Yeah, it's more exciting than watching the political insanity. And people, how will the upcoming intense astrological alignment impact our spiritual progress? They shouldn't. They shouldn't. They shouldn't impact your spiritual progress. Your spiritual progress is something very personal to you, Tam C. But I am going to shuffle the cards. You should always be working on yourself. You can have your meltdowns. You can have your temper tantrums. Spirit, consciousness is not going to get upset with you. This isn't religion. This isn't God and God's going to punish you. No. Your higher self has a lot of love for you. And your higher self essentially wants to break down all the barriers that exist, that have this world and living in this world has put between you and it. And it's fine for you to have meltdowns while these barriers appear in front of you and you consciously try to tackle them. And by barriers, I mean your shadow, your inner child, your wounds. Just like my wounds are acting up on me right now. Just like I have zero tolerance for any kind of blasphemy laws, for anyone telling me that I need to respect religion, for anyone shutting me down to protect a belief system or an idea. They can go pound sand. Go pound sand. You will never shut down dissent. To protect some ideas, to protect some outdated belief systems that are man-made, and to protect people's feelings from big bad people like me who don't like religion. We just don't. We don't like religion, man. Religion sucks ass. Especially the one that I came from. The one that I escaped. Okay, I can't be shuffling cards and talking like this. All right. I need to recenter myself. You can tell this is the program playing, right? The wound, the religious wound that was inflicted on me all my life from living under, a religion that I cannot speak of. What is it in Harry Potter? Thou that shall not be named. Yep. All right. Let's see what the cards have to say regarding the current energies. Be it new moons, be it eclipses. How are they impacting you? If I choose to leave this live up and the 20 people that usually watch my live streams watch it. How are the current energies presenting themselves to you? How are they impacting you? And I'm using this tarot deck. I'm trying to familiarize myself with it. I like it. I do like it. I like how it feels. Okay, something came up. Let's take a peekaboo and see. Doing tarot readings are always fun. The King of Wands. I just want to show you this image. And even though I might interpret it in one way, it's also nice for you to look at this image and feel. What is it that you feel when you see this image? And try to interpret it for yourself. Because it might mean something to you that, you know, I'm not getting. The King of Wands is a very interesting energy. I'm getting some duality here. I'm getting sort of like a light and shadow energy. But the King of Wands, you know what? I'm just trying to see if there's I don't want to say dark. I don't want to say dark energy, but there's a shadow element that's really popping out at me from this card. So I'm going to read it from the actual deck for you because I don't want to mess up the interpretation. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this tarot deck. But there is usually the King of Wands signifies a fiery energy, creativity, mastering your craft. And even though there's a dark sort of shadowy aspect to this card, there is still sort of a, you know, someone who knows his shit or her shit. It doesn't matter man or woman, but you know yourself. You know yourself, even though you might be battling a force right now that is like a trickster energy, a sabotaging energy. You know yourself, and you're going to come back to knowing yourself. Stay grounded. And where I like to read my spiritual, like my Sufi spiritual textbooks, the fiery energy that is associated with the King of Wands, usually you have to be cautious because even though you own your own fire and you can play with it and that's fine, it doesn't mean you can't hurt yourself. And it doesn't mean that you can't hurt others. Yes, you own your craft. Yes, you know who you are. But at what cost? Like, do you hurt people? Do you give yourself the okay to hurt people? Do you think yourself immune from being hurt? Let's see what this card has to say and if I can get more insight. Okay, let's put it here. So the King of Wands exudes mastery over passion, vision, and leadership. Seated in his throne, he sits with courage, strength, and transformation. His flaming wand symbolizes the dynamic energy of his ambition, while his fiery red robes reflects his enthusiasm and drive. There is clear optimism for the future for good reason, too. As a natural-born leader, his charisma and confidence inspire those around him to believe in his mission. So embody bold leadership and vision. Channel your passion and charisma to inspire others and achieve extraordinary goals. You have a high calling, and it is magnificent. Reflect, how can I lead with courage and inspire others while staying aligned with my heart's truest purpose? I lead with a clear vision, confidence, and passion. I inspire others as I boldly step towards my highest aspirations. Sorry, I wasn't holding it. Right. So the wand is creative abundance, and then intuitive wisdom, and commanding presence, and leadership with grace. Just be cautious. There's a again, there's an energy of caution right now, and it's really popping out at me in this card. You don't have to be reserved, but maybe just be aware enough that you're cautious with what it is that you are doing, with what it is you are saying, with what it is you are feeling, and how your emotions are being interpreted by your mind, resulting in actions. What actions are you taking? How are you impacting the people around you, your loved ones, your community? You know, just be aware. The King of Wands can, like, I don't want to say he can. It can't be egotism, but it can be too much. Too much. You can lose yourself in your power, and you don't want to do that. You want to always remain a little bit grounded. So that's something that came through. Not sure if that makes any sense to you, but let's see if there's anything else that the universe wants you to know during this very interesting time period that we are passing through. And speaking of time periods that we're passing through, I'm very aware that we all came here. We chose to come here during this time period, this very, very unstable, unrest time period that we are experiencing. I don't know if you're experiencing it. I'm aware of it. I try not to let it impact me too much. Every now and then it does. But like I said, I observe mostly now. But this is like a minutia of a second in the history of time of this world and our species. It might seem like it's forever, like this moment is lasting forever, but it's actually a very, very small, glitch that the world is going through. If you look at the world history from the beginning and until now, and everything it has gone through, and humanity and what we've gone through, this is just like nothing, Let's see what we got. Nine of Swords. I don't know if you can see it. It's very, very dark. So Nine of Swords usually signifies, or it implies this realm, the realm of the mind. And for me, it makes sense that this card came up because in the beginning of the live stream, I kind of told you that I myself got lost in my thoughts, got lost in my emotions, and I'm still like up and down. It's like a yo-yo effect. Like I sink in my thoughts and my emotions, and I crumble and I lose hope, which is this image here. And then every now and then I regain consciousness and I'm aware and I'm awake, but then I stumble again. So just be aware that the Nine of Swords signifies that there's too much activity happening up here, and it's starting to cloud your vision. It's starting to cloud everything. There's no light. There's very, very little light in this card, which means that the thoughts have become like a big cloud that has blocked off the sun. And the sun is the light of awareness. The sun is the light of your higher guidance. Clear the clouds. How do you clear the clouds? You clear the clouds by sitting down and meditating, going out for a walk in nature, connecting with animals, connecting with a pet, listening to some music, high frequency music. Get yourself out of this cave that you might find yourself in, that you've put kind of yourself in, but you might not be aware that you put yourself in it. That is very spot on, I would say, for the current energies. The realm of the mind is taking over. For me personally, I have not been able to work out. I love working out. Working out is like a meditation for me. I have not been able to meditate. When my thoughts become like a storm in my mind, I cannot meditate because I do not want to engage my higher self when I'm like this. I just don't. And I think I've given you the example before. When you're in a shit mood, do you go out on a date with somebody you love and ruin their day? No, chances are you're going to cancel your date and stay home. But don't stay home and be miserable and sink even further. Try to elevate yourself. Try to save yourself. No one saves us but ourselves. So that's the Nine of Swords. Over the past 2 to 3 years, I have lost interest in most materialistic elements, finance, politics, traditional religion, society, and also lost a lot of my appetite. Hope I'm on the right track. You're going to shift. You're going to change. Your body's going to change. Your attitudes are going to change. You're not going to be the same person throughout, because a lot of this is integrating your own light. A lot of this is integrating your truest self. And while you integrate your truest self, you're going to go through dark nights of the soul, just like what I'm going through right now. And as you go through a dark night of the soul, you're going to morph, and then you're going to come back again and you're going to integrate more of yourself and morph again. And then you're going to have another dark night of the soul. One thing I can tell you about dark nights of the soul is they do not get easier. You'd think they would get easier as we become more aware and as we bring in more of our own light, source energy. I've been able to connect, I want to say, with source. Like my meditations have gotten so deep now that I go straight to higher consciousness, whatever that is. But it doesn't make going through a dark night of the soul, which is essentially your old wounds, your shadow self, your old patterns, the way you were for the most part of your life before you woke up, starts to come back online again. Something is happening in your immediate reality. There's an energy, there's something, there's a situation, there's a person, there's an event, there's something you saw, something you heard, something you read. Sometimes there might be nothing. And you find yourself playing in an old pattern, in an old wound. And that's when you need to do a little bit of digging and find the wound. You don't have to go back in time and sit down and, oh, this person did this to me. Oh, that person did that to me. You don't have to do any of this. Just connect with the inner child aspect of you. You know the wound. You know it, you can feel it. Go back to the inner child. Go back to the younger you who is calling out to you, who is acting up inside of you through this wound, because it needs your protection. It needs you to say it. It needs you to say, you're good. You're good. I got you. Blasphemy laws are back. The morality police now are taking the form of payment processors. Payment processors and politicians in the West are the new religious police. I had to connect with the little girl that was kidnapped. I wasn't a little girl, but I was. I was in my very, very early 20s, 21, when I was kidnapped by a bunch of women-hating men who, the religious police. And they traumatized me for 3 months. I was everything happened. Everything that a 21-year-old should not have experienced, I experienced. And I was blamed for it all. Everything I was blamed for. Being kidnapped, being treated like shit, being abused, being sentenced to flogging, being put in jail in solitary confinement for 3 months. Everything was my fault. Why? Because I didn't cover my face. Of course, it's my fault. So this was the wound that I had to deal with. And I still have to deal with this wound because blasphemy laws are alive and well in Canada in 2026. And censorship laws are alive and well on every platform in the West in 2026. And it is being enforced. Why? Because the money gods, the payment processors, good old Carney with his Stripe, he's one of the big higher ups in Stripe, which is a payment processing platform. They have made it impossible for content creators to have any kind of freedom, for social media platforms to respect any kind of free speech. Good luck to us. So there, that's my inner child crying out right now. And I have to tell her that I got you. I got you. You're good. That's never going to happen to you again. I think I need to end this live stream. I don't want to be seen as a crazy human being, which probably a lot of people are thinking right now. And it might be. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I've lost my mind as I approach 50. But that's it. Energies are intense. You're not losing your mind. I'm feeling them. A lot of other people are feeling them. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I can. But I don't want to. I don't want to sugarcoat this for you. I'm here to be real, which is why I only get 20 views, which I love. I love my people, even if it's just 20 of you. All right, guys, do you have any more questions for me? I might have to go in and edit some stuff, or I might just leave it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Any more questions? Tam, you got any questions for me, hun, before I go and have probably drink some Red Bull? I eat once a day now, Tam. Once a day. I don't snack. Nothing. I eat one meal a day. I have lost over 20 pounds since my cat died, which was about a couple of months ago, maybe. I've lost 20 pounds. And it is what it is. I'm not doing it. I look after my own health. I work out. I take my vitamins. I do all that. But just to let you know, since you're worried about your appetite, don't worry about it too much, because you're going to change again and again and again. So long as the progress continues to be on the up, you can fall every now and then. That's fine, you know. But the trend should be generally ascension. Sounds good? All right. That's it, guys. I don't know when I'm going to muster the energy to do another ASMR video. I really, really want to. I have actually some props and I have the concept of my next ASMR video, but I want people to enjoy my ASMR videos. I think I've made it clear at this point that I've lost hope in ever doing, like, my platforms ever being monetized properly on YouTube. But I do want to still continue to put out good content, because I want you to benefit from it. I want it to be effective, and I connect. I please myself when I put out good content. And right now, other than coming on here and doing a live and griping a little bit and not being okay, that's fine. I can do that. But ASMR, I really reserve it for when I'm good. So I do apologize for you, the people that are following my ASMR channel. Not haven't abandoned it, but I want to be okay before I do my next video. Any questions to the 4 people that are here? Thank you for watching. Hopefully something I said in this live helps. All right, guys. Namaste. Stay strong. Stay conscious. Stay aware